My name's Mark, and I was born in South London. My mum had me when she was 17, and my real dad left before I was born. So I was brought up by my nan, granddad and my mum. And that was my family, really. School was a bit difficult for me. I didn't really like school. I couldn't really read or write, and I often got into trouble. I got suspended quite a lot, and by the time I was 12, I got expelled. I was supposed to go to a special school, but I didn't really like the idea of that. Secondary school was just the same. I got involved with all the wrong crowd and started sniffing solvents. When I was 13, I was sent to a children's home. I actually quite liked that. It was a bit like organised chaos, and I had no one to answer to. When I was 14, I got back in touch with my dad. We spoke for a little while. Around the same time, I started taking heroin, and by 14, I was hooked. I was just looking for an identity, really. Once I started, I was up and running, and actually, it didn't take much. To pay for my habit, I started stealing. I had my first prison sentence at 14 for robbing a chemist. Most of my drugs I paid for with crime. By this point, I didn't have a place to call home, but I knew I could always go back to my grandparents' house. They never ever shut the door or turned their back on me. When I was 16, I finally decided I wanted to change my life. So I lied about my age and said I was 18 to go into a detox for the first time. Over the next 30 years, I went to the same detox 15 times. It just wasn't working. I'd stop using heroin and then start drinking. Once I put a substance in my body, my life just becomes unmanageable. I'm not a recreational user. When I use 24/7. Okay. I don't think I'd really ever close the door on drugs. I just couldn't see a life without drugs. I wasn't prepared to listen. I wanted to do everything on my own terms. My life finally turned around on the last occasion I was in detox. I was actually in there with another fella. A guy called Michael Ishmael from ODAAT came to interview him. They were sitting there singing the praises of ODAAT, talking about JP and Toby. Just listening to them, I thought, I don't want nothing to do with this. I thought of an all-male rehab just didn't interest me at all. When I normally leave rehab, I don't leave clean, I leave with a girlfriend. So an all-male centre was a definite no-no. Afterwards, I ran into Michael in the corridor. The only thing he said to me was, "Are you done?" I thought that was pretty powerful in itself. Are you done? Normally they say, "Are you ready? Do you think you'll be ready? Are you done?" He came back the next day, took me down to City Road, interviewed me, and the rest is history.